Vice President of the Republic of the Seychelles, Mr. Afif, Principal Minister and Minister for Fisheries and the Blue Economy, Mr. Ferrari, ministers, partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone joining us online from near and far. Good afternoon, and welcome to the final ceremony for the Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan, a historic milestone marking more than a decade of collaboration, dedication, and a shared vision. My name is Helena, and I've had the privilege of walking along many of you throughout this journey. From the early scoping meetings and workshops, to intense consultations, revisions, and now today, celebration of completion and of transition. This process has been shaped by science, strengthened through inclusive engagement, and driven by a shared commitment to the sustainable use and the protection of our ocean. We gather here today to reflect, to honor our collective achievements, and to hand over the plan with pride and confidence to the government of Seychelles. It is now my honor to invite the co-chair of the SMSP Executive Committee, the Principal Minister and Minister for Fisheries and the Blue Economy, Mr. Jean-François Ferrari, to open today's ceremony.
Thank you, Elena. Good afternoon all, VP, ministers, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and friends. It is indeed my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this momentous occasion, the final ceremony of the Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan Initiative. Today, we gather not only to celebrate the culmination of over 10 years of hard work, collaboration, and dedication, but we also gather to reflect on the journey that has brought us here and to look forward to the promising future ahead. The Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan represents a landmark achievement in sustainable ocean governance for our small island state, our country, our beloved country, Seychelles. It is a testament to what can be accomplished when diverse stakeholders come together with a shared vision and a shared commitment to protecting and managing our precious marine resources. This initiative has been a collaborative effort involving government agencies, non-governmental organizations, technical experts, community representatives, and our most esteemed international partners. Each of you has played a vital role in shaping this plan, and today we express our deepest gratitude to all of you for your contributions. As we celebrate this final milestone, let us take a moment to acknowledge the key achievements of the SMSP process. From the establishment of the 30% marine protection areas to the integration of sustainable practices into ocean management, the SMSP has set a global example of innovation and collaboration. These accomplishments are not just victories for Seychelles, but they are victories for the global community striving for a sustainable future. This ceremony is also an opportunity to reflect on the incredible journey that reinforces the sense of ownership and pride that each of you feel towards Seychelles and its ocean. Your voices, your ideas, your efforts have been instrumental in shaping the Marine Spatial Plan, and your continued engagement will indeed be critical as we transition to putting the plan into action for a healthy ocean and healthy communities. Finally, let us use this occasion to look forward and strengthen the partnerships that have been forged throughout this process. Together, we have demonstrated the power of collaboration, and together, we will ensure the success of the next phase of this journey. On behalf of the Seychelles Marine Special Plan Executive Committee, on behalf of the Government of the Republic of Seychelles, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you for your unwavering support and your dedication. Let us celebrate this achievement and look forward to the exciting work that lies ahead. Thank you, and welcome to the Seychelles Marine Special Plan final ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Minister, for those powerful words and for your steadfast commitment throughout the MSP process. A partner from the very beginning, the Nature Conservancy has been instrumental in supporting the SMSP through expertise, through funding, and through long-term vision. I now welcome the Regional Managing Director for the TNC Africa region, Mr. Ademola Ajabe, to the podium.
Vice President of the Republic of Seychelles, Mr. Ahmed Afif, Principal Minister and Minister of Fisheries and Blue Economy, Mr. Jean-Francois Ferrari, ministers, partners, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with you today to celebrate a remarkable achievement in the ocean conservation and sustainable marine management. On behalf of the Nature Conservancy, I want to begin by expressing our deep appreciation for your continued leadership in the Seychelles. The progress we have made together is not only inspiring, it is globally significant. We're here to mark the successful completion of the Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan, MSP for short, a landmark initiative that has culminated in the government's conservation commitment under the World First Debt Conversion for the Ocean. This is a moment of celebration, but also one of reflection and renewed commitment. TNC, the Nature Conservancy, acknowledges the tremendous effort that has gone into this process. Since 2014, actually I was told this afternoon that the journey began before 2014. We have worked alongside the government of Seychelles under a formal MOU to support the development of the MSP. This is truly inclusive and participative journey, with over 324 consultative meetings, more than 380 stakeholders, and a process that engages more than 12 marine sectors, talking about using the power of many. The result is a plan that covers more than 1.35 million square kilometers of ocean with strong local buy-in and a shared vision for the future. The Nature Conservancy, we are proud to have walked this journey with you. From the early stages to today's celebration, it has been a privilege to support a country that places the ocean at its heart of its identity, culture, and economy. We understand that an interim measure has been approved to implement the plan, and our regulations have now been signed to enforce the MSP in law. This is a critical step forward. But we also know that the real work begins now with the implementation. The Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan is not just a national milestone. It is the second largest MSP in the world and the first of its kind in the Western Indian Ocean and among the small island developing states. It's a model of what we can achieve when science, policy, communities come together with a shared purpose. And of course, with the political will and convening power of government. TNC is proud to have supported this effort through a facilitation of the MSP and through supporting the establishment of SECAT, providing grant to SECAT, building capacity for early career professionals, and technical assistance across marine science, planning, and sustainable finance. We have also worked with partners to evaluate ecosystem service values, improve fisheries management, and explore other innovative finance mechanisms. But we did not do this alone. It takes a village. The Seychelles MSP is a true example of a One Conservancy approach, drawing on the expertise from across the Nature Conservancy's Africa program, Global Oceans, Nature Bond, and more. And we have been joined by a growing coalition of funders, partners, including United Nations Development Program, UNDP JEF, the World Bank, Blue Nature Alliance, Oceans 5, and more. Looking ahead, the strong cooperation and partnership that has built with that is instrumental in transitioning from planning to delivery of the full impact of the plan. Today is not the end. It is the beginning of the next chapter. The real impact lies in how we bring this plan to life through active and inclusive implementation. So I want to close with a call to action, Honorable Vice President and Ministers. Your leadership has brought us to this point. Continued collaboration across government, civil society, and international community will be essential to secure the financing and capacity needed to implement the MSP effectively. In ocean conservation and a beacon of hope for the blue economy. And you know, that's something we all talk much about, but Seychelles is actually walking the talk. So congratulations and thanks for your inspiring global action for our oceans. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your continued belief in this small island state's big ocean vision. Adaptation Trust, a national champion in channeling ocean finance and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the SECAT CEO, Ms. Marie-Mé Jérémy, to share her reflections.
Vice President of the Republic of Seychelles, Mr. Ahmed Afif, Principal Minister, Minister for Fisheries and Blue Economy, MSP Co-Chair, Minister Jean-François Ferrari, SECAT Chair and MSP Co-Chair, Minister Flavien Joubert, Honorable Ministers, SECAT Board Directors, distinguished guests, partners, friends, fellow ocean lovers, good afternoon. It is with so much pride and deep honor that I stand before you today as we mark the finalization of the Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan, a monumental chapter in our nation's journey toward sustainable ocean governance. Over a decade ago, Seychelles took a bold decision to chart a new course, motivated by a deep love for our ocean and the urgent need to secure our future. We undertook a revolutionary approach a debt conversion that would not only ease some of the financial burdens, but unlock the resources, knowledge, and partnerships needed to protect our shared marine heritage. This bold and innovative step gave birth to SECAT, and today I speak on behalf of that vision made real. We also, 10 years this year, have been so intricately linked with the MSP initiative. My predecessors before me, Martin Callow and Angelique Popono, and now myself, have the privilege of being entrusted with the management of the conservation funds made possible by the debt swap, and eventually the Seychelles Blue bonds. But our true work has been much more than grant making. It has been about empowering Seychellois. We have seen communities, researchers, fishers, entrepreneurs, policymakers, and youth step forward with homegrown solutions, with commitment, with much resilience and pride. We funded many projects over the years, small in scale perhaps, but mighty in impact. And together they have formed the living fabric of the MSP that we were building and that we now have ready for implementation. The SECAT has remained steadfast alongside government and TNC in delivering on every milestone. The road has not always been easy, financing sometimes dwindling, but SECAT is extremely pleased that along with TNC and other newfound partners, we have been able to go all the way. This plan, the one we celebrate today, is not just a technical document. It is a map of our aspirations, our compromises, and our shared commitments. It is the result of hundreds of hours of consultation, debate, learning, and most importantly, listening. To all those who sat at the table, you've helped shape a vision that is ours and ours alone. That is what makes this achievement enduring. Today, Seychelles protects over 30% of its ocean. When we started this journey, the global goal was only 10%. We didn't wait for the world, we led. And in doing so, we showed what is possible when a small island state is very big on ambition. The MSP is a triumph of science, of policy, but most of all, of trust. Trust between government and its people, trust between national actors and international partners, and trust in the idea that marine conservation and economic development can go hand in hand. Today, we have set in motion a revolution globally, the Seychelles and the SECAT model now being replicated across oceans. As we now move from planning to implementation, SECAT remains fully committed. Our vision is clear: supporting the implementation of this SMSP, management of the Marine Protected Area Network established, expanding our Blue Grants Fund, and helping our communities adapt and thrive in a changing climate, all while ensuring SECAT is here for the long run. And to this, we look on the continued leadership of government and our partners. To the Nature Conservancy, our debt conversion partners, the government of Seychelles, and every single Seychellois who believed in this vision, thank you. This achievement belongs to all of us. Let us continue to build, to protect, and to lead, not just for today, but for generations of Seychellois yet to come. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you to SECAT for being such a key player in sustaining momentum over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, to provide some framing for the Marine Spatial Plan initiative, Dr. Joanna Smith will join me to provide a brief recap.
Thank you, Helena. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, partners and friends. It's very nice to be here. This is not as part of the script, but what a nice occasion to be here as we're finishing, looking out over the room. The Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan is the result of more than a decade of inclusive and participatory planning to complete Seychelles' first comprehensive marine plan for marine protections, climate change adaptation, and a sustainable blue economy. The overall goal of the government-led spatial planning initiative was to develop and implement an integrated marine plan to optimize the sustainable use and effective management of Seychelles' marine environment while ensuring the social, cultural, and economic well-being of its people. Seychelles' ocean is extremely important for the national economy and the cultural values of people, while being a regionally significant hub for tuna fisheries and globally important destination for nature-based tourism. As you know, the SMSP, or the Marine Plan, spans all the waters in Seychelles, from the mean high water mark all the way to the boundary of the exclusive economic zone. The MSP used an evidence-based process that was informed by more than 100 spatial data layers, scientific publications, local knowledge, and other reports that are spanning back decades. The process used global best practices and international guidebooks to achieve the three main goals that Mary May just mentioned very well: the 30% marine protection goal, address climate change adaptation, and support the blue economy agenda. The Marine Spatial Plan that we will present in just a moment is an output of the world's first ocean debt conversion with the partners of the Government of Seychelles, the Nature Conservancy, and SECAT, and it was signed in February 2016, as you've just heard. And there was an MOU signed between the collaborators, which was Government of Seychelles and the Nature Conservancy, where TNC agreed to facilitate an MSP process to achieve the objectives of the debt conversion, and that was in 2014. After more than 10 years of dedicated effort, the Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan is now officially signed into law as of the 31st of March of 2025. I don't think I'll ever forget that date as well. And yes, there were pauses. 15 months during the national elections, 2015 and 16, and again during the COVID pandemic. But each time, the process was resilient and adaptive, just like the people in Seychelles. So we shifted to virtual consultations, reran scientific analyses, and remained grounded in our commitment to participation and good governance. This effort has no doubt also strengthened Seychelles' sovereignty and ocean governance. So in closing, with the plan that we're about to present, and with the atlas that has more than 50 maps, as well as zoning tools, policy guidance, and a lot of other documents and files that we will then pass on to the MSP unit, the SMSP now stands as a national instrument for ocean protection and sustainable management in Seychelles. It is a living document, and it will help future generations navigate ocean use and conservation in a changing world.
Thank you, Joe. That was a perfect framing for the official handover of the documents. I would now like to invite from the three parties of the award-winning World's First Debt Conversion for Ocean Conservation. Please welcome us on the stage, Mr. Vice President Afif, on the behalf of the Government of Seychelles, Mr. Ademola, on behalf of the Nature Conservancy, and Ms. Jeremy on behalf of SECAT, to receive the completed Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan and Atlas from the MSP core team. A historic and symbolic handover. Congratulations again to everybody. The strength of the SMSP lies in the diversity of the voices and the hands that shaped it. We would now like to turn to a few selected testimonials from participants who have generously agreed to reflect on their experience. This was voluntary. Please come up as you may to share your experiences. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. Before joining the Seychelles Marine Special Plan journey, my perspective as a finance professional was shaped around cash flow, balance sheet, profit and loss, and cost efficiency. I would say this is the core mandate of most of organizations. But being part of the MSP process has changed my mindset significantly. The MSP journey has taught me that finance is not just about managing resources, it's about protecting them. Through close collaboration with scientists, communities leaders, government, international partners, I've enhanced my knowledge, and it's provided me with the skill set to blend my financial expertise into the domain of marine conservation. I have learned the values that the marine conservation brings into the profitable and non-profitable organization. I am so proud to have been part of this journey that has shaped our nation both economically and socially significantly. My dream is to see the same dedication into the MSP implementation, for the legacy to be continued, and to embrace the hard work that our communities, scientists, government, and international partners have come together to make it happen. I thank everyone who made this journey possible, and it is great to see most of them in the same room today. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening to celebrate this great achievement. Thank you so much.
Vice President, Principal Minister, Ministers, good afternoon, everyone. I won't be long. I did not prepare anything specific. So I was asked on behalf of the Seychelles Fisheries Authority, I'm the DCO. I don't know if the CEO is in the room already. So I was asked to give testimonial on behalf of the Seychelles Fisheries Authority. So like we've heard this afternoon, this has been a very long journey. At some point, I think some of us thought it would never actually carry on. There was lots of battles back and forth. I remember attending the very first few meetings, the consultative meetings. They've been quite difficult at times. I think I would like to thank all the SFA staff who participated. I can see some of you in the rooms. I think now you know the importance of attending every single meeting, because each time you come back, something has changed based on other stakeholders' point of view. Not everyone is for and against fisheries, aquaculture, and even within fisheries, there's multiple subsectors. So I can see some of the partners in the room, and it has been quite a very long journey, but a very enjoyable one. Just like my colleague Vanya just said, we have learned, all of us has learned that consultative meetings are actually very important, especially if you want everybody's buy-in within the whole process. We've sat in the same rooms with NGOs, other people that we don't usually sit together in the rooms. And I think it has been overall quite an interesting journey, like I said, one that I think now we've seen the final product coming out of this whole process. Like I said, I wish all the staff that participated, and Helena and your team as well. We've seen the team, the SMSP team. Congratulations on the final product, and I think everybody in the room also deserve a round of applause. Thank you very much.
Mr. Vice President, Principal Minister, Ministers, CEOs, ladies and gents, partners, good afternoon. Congratulations and well done to you all. And well done to Seychelles. My name is Aleteko Mamo. I'm the former Principal Secretary for the Environment Department, also the former Chair of the Technical Steering Committee for MSP for 6 years. Today, it's a very happy occasion for myself, and one that also brings a lot of pride to have been given the chance to say a few words, a couple of minutes of my experience during the 6 years, as part of the 11-year process for the MSP. First and foremost, I would like to thank all, some of them are present here, all my superiors, colleagues, work colleagues, friends, everyone that was part of the journey together to formulate the plan, especially my segment of work coming up with the zoning design. For me personally, the process was more like a patriotic obligation, because Seychelles was bold enough at the time to pledge and commit to something that no other country dared to do. So I was determined, along with everybody else, of course, to make it happen. No matter how long it took, how much effort it will take, we were determined to make it happen. Of course, key to that was commitment by government, stakeholders, and of course, our most loyal partner, TNC. The team was fantastic. Today, we get asked about some of the secrets and formula of a successful MSP. One of the things that we always say is to identify the right partner. And TNC was the perfect partner. And today, personally, I would like to thank the team back then. Most of them are still here today. Joanna, Helena, Rick, Matt, for all the work and hand-holding that you guys did, to us back in the day. And a lot of heavy lifting also along the process, because we were all new to this. But in the end, we made it. Chairing endless technical steering committee meetings, trying to build trust among stakeholders, and funny enough, at the very beginning, some of them were wondering, but who's that Canadian lady that kept on going back and forth between Canada and Seychelles every six months or so? But then everybody warmed up to Joanna and the team, and eventually we got there. I remember the meetings. Sometimes it got heated, lots of challenges, especially in regards to oil and gas, fisheries, tourism. And also I remember the meetings, Prale and Ladig, going way down at grassroots level, trying to explain this very complex and tedious process to the fishermen on Prale or the boat operator from Ladig, what this means to him or to her in the process. Even one time we went to Ladig and we didn't know there was a funeral in the morning and nobody turned up. So that was, it was an experience in terms of island life. But after hundreds of meetings, as it's been said so many times, hundreds of presentations at different levels, the technical steering committee, exec committee, cabinet meeting, gradually we reached the different milestones. And I will remember all the time, the pressure that we will put on the guys at the survey division. I'm happy to see Julien here present today. Putting pressure in terms of how to make it happen, timely and accurately when it comes to the coordinates. And finally, in 2020, in the middle of COVID-19, under social distancing restrictions, the designations, the zones was signed into law. I was very happy to be amongst the very few to have been able to witness this very important occasion. But as it's been said already by some of the speakers, that was only one part of the job. The most difficult part is now. We have the plan, we have the document. Now we have to implement it efficiently. And I would call upon, all the friends that Seychelles has always had, the partners that's been there from day one, they are still there. There's new partners also coming on board to continue to work with us in Seychelles. Seychelles is ready to make this next frontier, this next step a reality, because we know the world is still watching us. And we are still the model, even today, even though I'm in a different capacity, as an independent consultant. I'm very grateful to the process for being able to share the experience and knowledge I've gained through this long, tedious, but excellent learning experience when it comes to MSP. So let's go together and let's make it happen again in terms of implementation. We have the document, now let's make it happen in terms of implementation, and let's bring other partners also on board so that we can continue to lead as an example. So thank you very much.
Vice President, designated minister, ministers, all dignitaries, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to everybody. I don't have a script, so I will just try and tell the story as it is in my head. I was at the time that we started with the MSP, working as the special advisor to the minister, who was Rolf Payet at the time, the Minister of Environment. And I was asked to coordinate the implementation of the debt swap. Many people might not associate the MSP with the debt swap that Seychelles did in 2015. In 2012, the government of Seychelles at the time decided to make a commitment for it to protect 30% of our EEZ if it was able to raise enough money for it to be able to manage it. And in 2012, in Rio +20, in Brazil, the government, at a side event organized by the TNC, made that commitment that if we are able to raise $2 million per year for conservation of marine environment, then we are prepared to protect 30% of our space. So the beginning was about money, and it was about protected area of 30% of our EEZ. So I was given the task for me to work on the debt swap and coordinate the activities at the time. And As far as the debt swap was concerned, that was going quite smoothly. We had the support of TNC. We had Rob Wary, who was the expert on financing, that was supporting us, and also Matthew Brown, who was the then director of the TNC for Africa, who was supporting us also with some of the works we were doing then. But when it came to the designation of 30% of the area, we had a huge problem. I was faced with a huge problem because in the past, all the protected areas we had done were very tiny and they were all coastal. You know, like the Saint Anne Marine Park just around the corner, or Béthanie or Polonais. These were all very tiny protected areas. And then suddenly we were faced with a huge protected area of 400,000 square kilometers. So in the past, we've always used what is known as the IUCN protected area designated processes and approach and methodologies. And, but that posed a major problem because I could see from the very beginning, because we would have been infringing on areas that are being occupied by other important economic sectors, such as, the fisheries, for example, the marine transportation and other sectors, tourism and others that wanted to use those spaces, and clearly there were going to be conflicts and major conflicts. And for fisheries, 400,000 square kilometers would have been a huge squeeze on the fishermen, and there would have been problems. So one day, at that time, Seychelles had started working on the blue economy. And government organized 2 Blue Economy Summit in the UAE during the Sustainability Week that's normally organized in January every year. And I think in 2014, I was sitting having breakfast with the fisheries people. There was Mr. Philippe Michaud, can see him at the back in the room. Mr. Racombeau, unfortunately, is not with us anymore, and Jan Robertson. And we were discussing, I was discussing with them, the challenge that I was facing in declaring the 30%, protected area. And Jan at that time told me, because he was doing his PhD with a university in Australia, he told me, well, the Australians are working on an MSP project for the Great Barrier Reef. Maybe you should have a look at that. And basically, this is where the MSP process started. And so I went back, did my research in the evening on my computer, and later on we discussed with our partner, the TNC, and we said, well, we need an MSP. We were not 100% sure how it works, but we knew that we needed it because the other methodologies that we had definitely could not give us the results. So I will stop here, and that's when we started with the MSP. And none of us at that time knew what we were taking on, that it will take 11 years to get this done. We thought that it would have been an easy process. Within a year or two, it would have been over. But clearly, it was a lot of work, and we can all be proud of what we've been able to achieve, because a lot of countries now are looking to Seychelles for guidance. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon all, it's great to see you all. Vice President, Ministers, fellow ocean lovers, I think I enjoyed that term earlier. I want to correct Helena with one thing though. When Helena says this is voluntary, when Helena speaks to you, that things are often not voluntary. And I think Without Helena, this MSP process, I think everybody in the room recognizes she's been the backbone to the MSP process. So thank you for getting me back up here, Helena. I first moved to Seychelles in 1998, and coming back again this week, and even when I was the SECAT CEO, it's been a real homecoming, professionally and personally. Seychelles has given me my career, and it's inspired my career, so I thank all of you in this room for giving me everything I've achieved, small as that is. Being the SECAT CEO, 2017 was when I came back. I remember being given a small office at the UNDP office, being introduced to Didier again as the chair of the trust at that time, and we had a lot of work to do. We had an act, but we didn't really have kind of a structure as to where we were going. It was through collective action in this room that SECAT became the trust that it is. I think everybody's had a role to play in that. We built a trust on good governance, on high transparency, and with a vision that reflected what was coming out of the MSP process and the Blue Economy roadmap that was developing at the time. I think it's a real testament to Seychelles' leadership, ambition that the SECAT is leading the world with the way it thinks about finance and conservation. We're here again now to celebrate the MSP process. I've been out of the country for 6 years, but I've been watching from a distance about how things have been progressing. And it's really, really inspiring to see the effort that's gone into the MSP. You've heard enough testimonials already from others, but I think the world is going to be watching what's next. Seychelles is one of the world's best plans. It's got a trust fund, it's got a plan in process. The implementation is going to be really, really exciting to see how everybody in this room and partners internationally or nationally can support that effort going forward. So on behalf of TNC and Matt Brown in particular, who could not be here this week, Didier, you mentioned him earlier, he's been the start of a lot of this effort, and Matt would be really, really proud to be here to celebrate with you today. So on behalf of Matt, a big thank you. And finally, just one thing, another backbone to SECAT has been Vanya, and to see Vanya get up on this stage earlier and give those words is a real heartwarming thing for me. You were SECAT's first employee, and you're SECAT's longest serving employee. So to you, thank you so much for being steadfast in everything that's been achieved. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, everyone. I was just checking if anyone else was coming up. It was voluntary, I swear. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing your journeys and reflections. They really do remind us of what inclusive and science-based planning can achieve. For those who still want to share, maybe a bit shy, don't want to come up in front of everyone, you have a guest book out the front, and you can feel free to share your thoughts if you would like in the guest book. So now, we would like to invite you to watch a short video, it is short, 3 minutes, that highlights the Seychelles leading the way to a sustainable ocean. Thank you.
The ocean is our life. When we're talking about the tourism industry, when we're talking about the fishing industry, talking about the blue economy in general, the ocean plays a very important role.
The ocean's health, critical to Seychelles' economy, is increasingly vulnerable to threats like biodiversity loss and climate change.
We are feeling climate change more and more. We've seen that in terms of the weather. I've also seen it in terms of biodiversity. There are species I haven't seen in over 10 years. The reef is very important to us. Having healthy reefs means having healthy fish population and healthy people.
To protect the island nation's source of life, Seychelles pursued a pioneering effort to refinance a portion of its debt to unlock funds and technical support for ocean conservation and the blue economy.
The Seychelles debt conversion was actually the first debt conversion for a marine area in the world. There are 3 objectives, one being a 30% protection goal, and the other 2 being climate change adaptation and the blue economy agenda of the Seychelles.
To achieve these objectives, Seychelles first had to map their ocean. With the information gathered, stakeholders from key marine sectors and civil society came together to create the Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan, a detailed process to guide management and use of the ocean for the long term.
And as a small island, it's very easy for us to trial things that are scalable, locally driven actions from local solutions, local ideas, but more importantly from Seychelles. So for Seychelles, by Seychelles, doesn't get better than that.
Through this process, the people of Seychelles have transformed protection of their ocean from just 0.04% to 32.8% and signed into law a comprehensive marine spatial plan, and in so doing, secured a lasting legacy of conservation and a thriving blue economy.
I feel proud because a lot of people, when they see you, they kind of respect you because they see that you're protecting the environment. We try our best to protect it for our future, for the new generation which is coming.
As a people, we are aware that without the ocean, Seychelles will not survive. We have only one planet. There's only one ocean.
I see a Seychelles that has that confidence, that has the ability for it to take care of its own, and a people that actually believes that it can do that. So let's continue to empower countries so that they too can do something that's amazing.
Together, Dr. Joanna Smith and I would like to express our gratitude and acknowledgments to the many individuals and institutions that have made this possible.
This is the easy part and the sort of hard part. So over the past 11 years, we've had more involving nearly more to public information sessions in person that live within and outside Seychelles. This has been a truly collaborative process, to the point that the minister wants me to call him by his first name. We are celebrating the first legally enforceable marine spatial to this shared success. This enormous effort was supported by significant technical, financial, and other contributions, and in kind, directly and from Seychelles Conservation Climate and Adaptation Trust, Environmental Facility, UNDP Jeff, Oceans 5, Lida Hill, the Blue Nature, Waite Institute, the Pew Charitable Trusts, IKI, and many other 3 project coordinators over the course of this planning. And so we give a very warm thanks to Irma, and most recently to Adrian Monthi. Spatial planning and mapping would not have been possible without the expertise and cartography from Mr. Rick Tingey, who lives in Salt Lake City, Utah. We like to call Rick our Airbus A380 captain of GIS. He was just here running a GIS training with Kate Longley-Wood on my team at TNC, and unfortunately couldn't be. Consultants are an essential part of any MSP process. In Seychelles, they provided expertise in fisheries and legislation, maritime law, communications, and then copy editing and graphic design. In all, more than 75 consultancies have since 2014. This plan was to the dedication of hundreds of individuals across government, communities, NGOs, and private sector. We recognize and appreciate the time and contributions from the Cabinet of Ministers, from the ministers that have supported and championed this process during the whole time, and also from members of National Assembly. If you attended a public workshop, please kindly stand. And stay standing. If you attended or are a member of a technical working group, please stand, if you're not already standing. If you attended or are a member of a steering committee meeting, please stand. If you attended or are a member of an executive committee meeting, please stand. Yes. And if you supported the Marine Spatial Plan effort in any way since 2014, please stand. And that includes Dawn and Marcus. Dawn has helped us many times. We would just like to take this moment also to remember those who are no longer with us, but whose contributions to this journey were invaluable. And last, but certainly not least, for all those online watching the live stream who were part of this journey as well. So please join Helena and I with a huge round of applause to everyone that has participated and contributed to the plan. Do you want to sit down? Thank you. You can now resume. Helena will tell you. We truly thank and honor the perseverance of so many, acknowledging the time that you have given to this process to make sure it was the best it could possibly be. And we could not have done this without the love and support of family and friends. And we want to acknowledge the sacrifices that they have made also to support us. Helena and I especially thank our wonderful families that have supported us every step of the way. One of them is at the back. Guy. Most of them are not here, but some are watching the live stream right now, and we are saying a huge thank you. This has been a multi-year marathon, and we have covered a lot of ground or kilometers. And as the main spatial plan transitions into implementation, we want all that effort to lead to results. So our role as facilitators now officially comes to an end, transitioning from planning to delivering impact for the MSP. And with that, I turn to Helena. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. We truly appreciate the ocean of people behind all this work. Thank you very much. To officially close the ceremony today, I now invite the co-chair of the SMSP Executive Committee. We have two co-chairs. So the Minister for Agriculture, Climate Change and Environment, Mr. Flavien Joubert, to deliver the final closing remarks.
Vice President, Principal Minister, colleague ministers, TNC Regional Managing Director of Africa, members of the National Assembly, partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Government of Seychelles, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who have contributed to the success of the Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan. This initiative represents a significant milestone in sustainable ocean governance, and it would not have been possible without the dedication and collaboration of our stakeholders, partners, and technical teams. Our heartfelt thanks to every individual and organization who walked the journey with us, from the MSP core team to our executive, steering, and technical working groups, to our local communities, youth, ocean users, and international partners, especially the Nature Conservancy. Also, a special thank you to those individuals and those organizations. Some of the individuals are present in the room today, who were part of the process since its inception in 2012. Your contributions, insights, and unwavering commitment brought this plan to life. Today, we officially conclude the planning phase of the Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan, the first of its kind in the Western Indian Ocean, and a globally recognized model for marine conservation and sustainable ocean management. What began as a bold vision over a decade ago, as has been pointed out by Mr. Douglé, has evolved into a robust, science-based, inclusive plan that balances ecological protection with economic opportunity, which is in tune with a delicate balance. Pardon, small mistake, I'll just stop there. I'll continue. But this is not the end. In fact, it is only the beginning. With the Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan now finalized, we enter the next critical chapter, and that is implementation. Implementation means action. It means turning zones on paper into real-world actions and outcomes. Healthy marine ecosystems, well-managed fisheries, sustainable tourism, empowered coastal communities, and climate resilience. It means institutionalizing the plan, strengthening our legal framework, and ensuring that every decision we make about the ocean reflects the vision we have collectively built. To do this, we must maintain the spirit of collaboration that has brought us this far. Implementation will require the same, if not greater, levels of coordination, innovation, and ownership. Let us remain united in our purpose, committed to adaptive management, and open to learning as we transition into the implementation phase, ensuring the continued protection and sustainable use of our marine resources for generations to come. In closing, I invite all of you to continue this journey with us. The Seychelles Marine Spatial Plan is not just a national achievement, it is a living legacy and a beacon of what is possible when we work together for our ocean. Thank you for being part of this incredible chapter, and thank you for walking with us into the next one. And before I leave the stage, I would like to call on stage up here two very special persons who have helped us get this far with the MSP. I would like to call Dr. Joanna Smith, Global MSP Lead of the TNC, and also Ms. Helena Sims, the MSP Program Manager, to receive a small gift as a token of our appreciation for the hard work they have put into ensuring the success of this work. So, also I would like to call Principal Secretary for Environment, Mr. Madasiken, and also Vanya. Where's Vanya? The first and longest serving member or staff of SECAD. All of them would receive. They're not receiving checks, by the way. They have enough money, but we'll provide them with a coco de mer, which I'm sure they don't have. No. So, so Dr. Joanna. And a little something for Vanya. And we like to emphasize that this gift is for those members, the key members, but also to the whole core team of the MSP who have worked very hard in the background to make this happen. So thank you very much for your hard work, and a round of applause to everyone and every organization who have been part of this very important process. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the formal part of this ceremony. We would now like to invite you all for a reception and a social mixer. If you can, stay to join. Please do enjoy the refreshments and reconnect with your colleagues and celebrate this shared achievement. Once again, on the behalf of the MSP core team, thank you very much for your commitment and your passion, but more importantly, your belief in a better, bluer future for the Seychelles. Congratulations again to everyone, and see you at the next chapter of implementation.